So let's just check if anybody's on there. Let's have a look at this thing. How are you doing, guys? If you're just tuning in, I'm knackered, so apologies for that. I will just check if we are on here, and I think we are. So just gonna wait. Let a couple of people get on. Hope everybody's okay. Quite late here in the UK. I'm sure over in North America and other places watching. It's a little earlier in the day, so we'll see how many people get on. I think we've got about 7 people on here. Just winding down for the night, and I figured I'd check in and take any questions and so on. Daniel's on, Dennis is on. How you guys? How you doing? Let's see how many people get in the chat. And I hope you guys are all a little bit brighter than I am. I'm absolutely knackered. Jack Valazzi's on here. Good to see. And Desperation Pinocchio. Good to see a few people back on. Topping up the nose tan, as you can see there. Look at the state of that, guys. Blink 3 times if you were holding you captive. No, not captive, mate. Just had some stuff to sort out. Still do, actually. So I'm going to be a little bit low profile for a while. King Lou already going in with that match predictions. We need to see Brzenk versus Todd. I'll tell you what about that, eh? Come on, put in the chat. How many people had John? How many people? Let's see who had John Brzenk. And I'm just saying, prediction 3-1. How was that? Yeah. Happy with that one. But I'll tell you what, I thought Chance did a great job. I thought he did himself proud. Got a big future. He's only a puppy. And I know everybody will say yeah, John wasn't John. Maybe there's something in that. You know, maybe there's something in that. John obviously isn't the trained version of himself. He's not the very best version that we've seen of him. He's 57 years old, but it's still John Brzenk. Carolyn, what have you put? Neil, you're the best, Uncle John. Hey, what about Uncle John? Same day. 31st was a big day for arm wrestling, and I caught a little bit of Uncle John's stuff, but I was driving, so I didn't see too much of it. But to be honest, what I saw of Uncle John, he was pulling his left arm, and he was dominating. Looked like he was crushing people. So yeah, he was definitely in good form, and it was nice to see him get on the table. Didn't see a lot of his stuff, but it looked like the event. The Dave Patton Classic thing was great. It looked like a lot of people were, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt myself a little bit. Got a rosy on the pop. So it looked like the Dave Patton Classic was a pretty good gig, guys. And it looked like it had a lot of people tuning in. I noticed that our very own White Hawk was there as well, Paul Lynn. And he seemed to be doing well. It's nice to see some of the guys there pulling well throughout that competition. So I'm going to wait till we get some questions in here as well. Center that up a little bit. Let's have a see. What do we got? Let's get into this chat. Any info about Kadetcha in the top 8 match affecting Arm Wars? No, would be the short answer. Nothing has been brought to my attention that would mean that Alex's involvement in the top 8 would in any way conflict with Arm Wars. Don't see that being an issue. I was speaking to Alex on Facebook's Messenger the other day, and he was very much up for it. So still looking forward to that very much. I think the biggest single concern that I've got around the Arm Wars Super Heavy Battleground will be the fact that the rules in the UK right now still don't allow Canadian arm wrestlers to come into the UK without a quarantine period. So that's probably the biggest issue that we've got right now. However, I am hoping that changes and that we do get to allow Canadian pullers in, and there's no problem for Ryan Espy. Carlos, thanks, mate. Great to see you all too, and thanks for tuning in. As I say, wasn't planning on coming on. A lot of things on at the moment, but I just wanted to try and jump on here real quick and check in with everyone. See how everybody's doing. Let's have a look what else we've got in here. Dustin, welcome, mate. And let's see, we got any more questions coming in? Question there, did I expect John Brzenk to win? Yes, I actually did expect John Brzenk to win. I'd spoken, I think I actually mentioned it on the show we had with Chance, or was it The Fix, one of the shows where we talked about that match, and I predicted, I said I thought that John would win 3-1. I thought he'd get punished if he tried to hook at any point, just using a traditional wrist flexion hook. That's a bad move with Chance. Chance is really good at avoiding that. Chance looked really strong to the side. I know he got a lot of compliments from John about that as well. So yeah, big future for that young man. I thought he did really well. He's done better with John Brzenk in any form than a lot of people have. So every credit to him. I wasn't. What have we got here? Yeah, were you surprised that Chance got the pin on John? No, I was not. I wasn't surprised. John does experiment a little bit. He does different things. He's brave and he tries to do different stuff. So no, I wasn't surprised about that. I actually think, if I'm brutally honest, right, I think that Chance got away with one a little bit there because I didn't see a foul from where I was. I mean, I wasn't, I've not done the old pin back and see exactly what happened, but from where I was, from what I was watching on the screen, which wasn't the best, didn't see a foul for John. That's not Chance's fault. Chance is going to pull best he can, and that's the end of that. But I really believe that John maybe had a pretty poor grip in that second start. From what I could see, it didn't look like he had anything in the setup at all, and Chance is no bum. So if you've not got the right setup with him, he's going to punish you, and that's what he did. But I don't think it really showed anything too serious for John at that stage. I don't think he was worried at all. Just jump back in here. We've got a super chat coming from my man, Matt. Tickle my limits, Larratt. Matt, how you doing, brother? Neil, you're the absolute man, mate. Thank you. Can I get a good look for the tournament I'm doing on Saturday? King of Florida. Missed the episodes, man. Mate, I miss them too. We will be back soon. And yeah, very best of luck with the King of Florida event, mate. Hope it goes great for you. Let's have a look what else we got in here. Ever thought about Gennady Quickvinia in Arm Wars? 100%. I have thought about Quickvinia in Arm Wars. 100%. Gennady Quickvinia, if you speak to him yourself, mate, you'll find out, yeah, I've invited him over, spoke to his lady over there also, because obviously Gennady doesn't speak great English. But yeah, I would love him there. I already had him lined up in a match for the WAL. COVID screwed that up a little bit. But to be perfectly honest, I'm sure if the WL gets rolling again, he'd be involved in that one. Let's have a look what we got here. Romeos, UK demands Canadians to quarantine, or the other way around. Yeah, UK restrictions on Canadians at the moment, mate. They would have to quarantine for about 10 days, I believe it is right now. Brendan Daniels, Neil, the elbow foul is obvious on a Facebook post by Kyle Depew. Okay, haven't seen that, mate. Haven't seen that at all. Would be very interested to where that fell in the match. Watching it, it didn't look obvious. So there's obvious and obvious. I'm not sure. I'll have to look back on it. Can't really comment. But yeah, I thought John was worth the win. It went pretty much as I expected it to go. I do think that John closes down the light on people quite a lot, and if you've got a hole in your game, he'll usually find it. He's done that for 30 plus years. He's very good at finding little nuances, little holes in people's game. He found that on Chance. Nothing for Chance to be ashamed of. He finds it on most people. And as I said earlier, I thought Chance did very well. I know Chance is looking for big matches. He's trying to pin down some big name arm wrestlers. Neon, Ame, when is the fix coming back? The fix is coming back very soon, mate. I expect, if not next weekend, certainly the weekend after. But the fix will be back very, very soon. I've been in contact with the fix crew throughout. They know what's going on. And yeah, we'll be back on. Too smooth, mate. Yeah, need my fix of the fix. As I say, we'll be back on there quick, guys. As soon as we can. Gutted that's had to take a little break. Completely my fault, nobody else's. As I say, I just had to take a little step back. A few things going on in personal things at the moment. But I will be back. Let's have a look. Any more questions? Hair looks great. Hair looks unkempt. That's what it is. Not had an opportunity to get it cut, mate. To be honest, as I say, bigger fish to fry. But Yeah, long hair for me. I look like a fat Jesus. Let's have a look what we got here. Are you making Arm Wars predictions or refraining, being the promoter? Yeah, the latter, Dennis. I wouldn't really make any predictions. I have an idea how I think things will go in certain matches, but as I've said many times, it's kind of a weird time at the moment because most guys we haven't seen active. So it's hard to say with any kind of authority where people's levels are at right now. And that's the difficult thing. But I think there are some unbelievable matches there, and it'll be what's that? The closer the skylight is, the closer to God. Yeah. I think it'll be a good opportunity to see where people are at. I did hear some rumblings the other day that the Worlds in Georgia were cancelled or on hold. That potentially presents some opportunities as well, but we'll see. Levan Gasparini, great job at Giants Live. Yeah, hey, what a show. The Giants Live Royal Albert Hall show was, you know what, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed getting out there again, doing a show. I was obviously masked up and so on backstage, trying to keep my distance from people, but I can honestly tell you, I absolutely loved being back out. And getting a Giants gig under our belt. And we're back soon again, the Giants Manchester show, August 14th. Check that one out. What a moment for Ian Bibby indeed, Dennis. It was ridiculous. To get that on his third attempt was shocking, incredible. Shows the potential in that young man. And Chet Sono's a lovely guy as well. Ian Bibby's a lovely guy. So it was nice to see him get that. I know there was a lot of controversy around it, but the dude had already won the event, so it didn't really make a great deal of difference. Just weakened him for other events during the competition. And to be perfectly honest, the noise in the Royal Albert Hall when he hit that, wow, it's something I'll always remember. It was an incredible moment, and it was nice to see the guy get it. Champion's response. Let's have a look at what else we got in here. Should you think the strap made a difference in the match between Chance and Brzenk? I don't know, really. I think both men would like the strap, if I'm honest. I know that Chance isn't opposed to pulling in the strap. Gives him options. Likewise, John, so well-rounded and versatile, I don't think he has any problems with the strap. I think, to be honest, the writing was on the wall after the first start. That first start, foul or no foul, I think that John got something dialed. There are some weaknesses. I've talked about it before. There are some holes in Chance's game. He's still a young man. He's got a lot of room to grow and a lot of room to develop, and I know he will. And John Brzenk just did him a favour at the weekend. He showed him a couple of holes. Chance, I've actually spoken to Chance about it on the messenger again. Chance has nothing to be down about at all. I thought he pulled really, really well. He's got those little areas of softness in his game which people can exploit, and they did do. If anybody's going to exploit it, it's going to be a guy like John, who's got it all. He's got experience, bravery, all the elements that you're going to need in that kind of environment. And I'm sure he did a little bit of homework too. But at that level, it's more about how the match feels. You can feel little elements in there. And I'm pretty sure that John will have... He already knew that trying to sort of wrist hook at Chance was a bad move. Speaking to him before the match briefly on the phone, and he said that he was very aware of that. To be perfectly honest, for me, the writing was on the wall after the first start. And I want to say that I feel like John probably felt the same. I haven't had a chance, as I say, I've been away, so I've not had a chance to catch up with John yet. I've not had a chance to catch up with Chance in detail or speak to him at any length, which would be nice. But yeah, I thought Chance pulled really well, and I thought it was a really positive outing for him. And I think he's got a big future. I think there was a hype train behind Chance. I don't think this will derail it a great deal. I think it did Chance show favours at weekend. I think it built upon Chance's legitimacy in my eyes. Other people may not see it like that. Certainly from my perspective, nothing happened that I didn't expect to happen, as I said earlier. And I still believe Chance is really, really solid. And I think he'll do big things if he sticks with the sport. He's a young man. What do we got here? I've just seen one here from Jim James. Neil, why do you think so many people dismiss Devon versus Vitali and Levin? Also, what match would you most like to see? Holy, there's a lot, Jim. There's a lot of matches that I would like to see. I think the biggest problem with the whole Devon versus Vitali and Levin, if you're talking about possibility of that happening, is just around the restrictions of the top 8 with the Professional Arm Wrestling League and the fact that they've got guys contractually bound. Sure, it's a great match for anyone, but if there's an interruption to the top 8 season, I'm not sure how keen those guys would be. And if they were to put the match on with Levin and Devon, which could well happen at the moment. Devon's a free agent. He'll make his own decisions in that respect. And if it works for him, and he wants that match, and Levin wants that match, I think that's an exciting one. You know what? I actually think that Vitali Larratt is a potentially more dangerous opponent. Strange though that might sound to people. He's a more dangerous opponent in my mind, stylistically, for Devon than Levin potentially is. As I say, just because of the style, the clash of styles, the size, the fact that Vitali's got that length, the height, the speed, I believe that he is very difficult for a lot of people to arm wrestle against, and Larratt could easily be the man right now. But right, you know, we will see. I'm not going to take any pot and guesses, and I don't want to take anything away from Levin Saakashvili, because the last time those lads met, it was I'm not going to say a comfortable victory for Levin, but it was a convincing victory for Levin. So every credit to the lad. But I do think that there's a lot of room to grow in Vitali Larratt. I really do. Here we go. Let's have a look. If Kadetcha beats Hermes, it will be a huge upset. Maybe in some people's minds. I don't know whether I believe it'll be that much of an upset. I think Kadetcha hasn't had the coming out party. He's not necessarily got that hype train that I spoke about, but capability, he's certainly got that. He's got some really good weaponry in his arsenal. He's a very big man. He's explosive. He's quick. He's got an opportunity to shut people down, and he may create some real problems for Hermes, but I'm sure a lot of people will be back in Hermes for the win there. We will see. I didn't even know that had been confirmed yet. I may have missed something. As I say, I've not been on social media, so apologies for that, but I haven't been tracking it. Carolyn, Neil, how is David Bradford practicing hard? Who do you pick, David or Uncle John? I don't know, Carolyn. I really don't know. My intention, my aspiration is for it to be a battle. It's the most difficult match I could possibly make, because we've got two guys who like to top roll, they're both boxers rather than punchers. They both try and go around the power rather than through their opponent's power. And they're both, I'm not going to say monotechnical, but they both have a very definitive style that they like to arm wrestle in. And both men look for that neutralization finish. John looks impressive right now. David looks impressive right now. It's got all the makings of a potential battle. I don't know. I don't know enough about John. I don't know a lot about John and John's level. I'm taking guidance from what I have seen, and it looks like John has a formidable left arm. Everybody I speak to assures me that that is the case, and it's based on that I have put the match up with David. David's got a great left arm. He's no bum. Good match potential there. And to be honest, I couldn't care who wins the match as long as it's a battle. That's what I do care about. I really do hope that that's a screamer. Let's have a look here. Does anyone know why Corey West is called the Gorilla? Is it because of his body hair? I don't think so. I think it's the old silverback thing, the strength thing, you know. And his size, he's a very, very big dude. Not the tallest man in the world, but god damn, he's massive. Big, big, big boy. And what else have we got? Yeah, John said after their match that he thinks Chance will beat Jerry. Did he? Okay. Did he now? So John said that he believes that Chance will beat Jerry. Okay. I would disagree with that comment. That's, you know, I just would. I don't think that Chance is able to beat Jerry right now. I may be wrong, but if Jerry comes in very prepared and all guns blazing, I think he would be a problem for Chance. Chance can pull well on the defensive. He has a really good locking post on the defensive side of the table. I think he would tire, to be honest, with if he could get to the A side. So if he could put Jerry out of position and stagnate him early, then yeah, he's got a great chance. But I'm not sure I see that happening. The one thing that we saw from the Chance match at weekend with John was that John, who is not the fastest arm wrestler in the world, let's be honest, at 57 years of age, and he's laterally, John's become more of a containing arm wrestler anyway. He tends to try to contain people. I feel like, and again, I don't want to sort of do John down, and I'd like to speak to John, but it feels to me, from what I saw, honestly, and I'll say this to John himself when I speak to him, I saw the rust on John at weekend. John, during the match, got to be, he was in that very red line, stressed, battling position where he was working very hard in positions where he otherwise wouldn't have done. And I think that's just lack of high level table time, for want of a better phrase, really. And I do believe that potentially gives you a false aspect on where Chance is sat and styles make matches. In my opinion, Jerry might be a little step too far for Chance right now. Chance is an evolving force. So yeah, we'll see. John got a taste of what Chance brings up close and personal, and he was obviously very impressed with that, you know. So I'm sure that match is going to happen. I know when I spoke to Chance only a few weeks ago, he was telling me that Jerry is very interested. Jerry wants some time, but he's really interested to get the match. So I believe that match will come about. But as I said, I think it was more down to, or John's opinion may have been formed by his own failings at the weekend, just purely due to the fact that he's not been pulling, he's not been active, and that's a problem. And he probably had a few holes in his game, which he doesn't normally have. We're not talking about a prime John Brzenk, we're not talking about a guy who's been focused on his arm wrestling and pulling at high level. That's just not that's not the guy that was there at weekend. Who was there at weekend was John Brzenk, who's tough as balls to beat, you know, whoever you are. And that's that. But I don't agree that Chance beats Jerry Carrett right now. Let's have a look. The arm wrestling opinion, Chance will get smoked by Jerry. Maybe. I think it could. That all depends on the start. I think Jerry's faster off the start right now than John is. And I think that will make a difference. Jim James, let's have a look what he said here. Neil, do you think young bucks like Chance were just put in place? Nah. You know what? I don't. I think I actually admire Chance for chasing the big matches. And why wouldn't he do right now? You know what I mean? Because it's a no-lose, let's be honest, it's a no-lose position for Chance. He's arm wrestling John Brzenk. And people don't necessarily see John Brzenk at 57 years old, John Brzenk giving away weight. I don't know how much weight he was giving away, but it's got to be, what, 50, 60 pounds or something, maybe even more. I don't know. You know, he's giving away a decent bit of weight. I think Chance is in his groove right now. I think he's got that confidence that young men have, where you think you can beat everybody, and good on him, you know. He's pursuing the hardest matches he can get. You got to respect that. I think that's great. So, again, didn't really care who won at weekend. It's an arm wrestling match. I don't think John probably put too much store on it either. He's won before, he's lost before. I think had Chance Shaw won, his whole presence would have gone stratospheric. I appreciate the risk in taking that and trying to boost his whole story It didn't work out on this occasion, but a lot of people have tried to knock pegs into to John, and it hasn't worked out. So Chance shouldn't take that too hard. I don't think it's a problem for the guy. I think it's done his credibility a world of good with a lot of people. There will be people out there who will feel like Chance did better than they thought. So yeah, good on you, Chance, did well. And it was ace to see John back pulling. That's nice in itself. It's good to see John back pulling. And I think he came through that injury free. Let's have a look. Sorry, Jim, I've just seen another one. Do you think John's right about Chance being able to beat Jerry? Just covered that off. I don't agree with John on that one. We have a few differences of opinion on things like that. Neil, you talked about Iron Bibi before, but I didn't realise what a beast he was until Giants Live. Yeah, he really is. I mean, in Burkina Faso, where he's from, he's got limited equipment, and he doesn't even have his own set of Atlas stones to practice on. So imagine, if he had his own equipment like that, how good he could be and how well-rounded he could be. So yeah, Cheick Sonu's got huge potential. Little story about Cheick Sonu as well, about Iron Bibi as well. So I was speaking to Bibi after the show. He loves arm wrestling. He arm wrestled my boys. They were sort of playing around arm wrestling with him. He was talking about his arm wrestling. He talked about the fact that he loves it, that he'd like to come and pull. And he said that he had arm wrestled and beaten Eric Spotto. Wow, that impressed me. I said, you beat Spotto? He said, yeah, we pulled and I beat him. That is really impressive, extremely impressive. That stood me up a little bit. So, yeah, Iron Bibi's for real. There's no doubt about that. Let's get back to these questions and see what we got. I just noticed there's about 145 people in the eyeballs at the moment. Sorry, I'm so knackered, guys. I've had a right full day of it. It's been busy times at this point in time. But hello to everybody. Thanks for tuning in, checking us out. I know there'll be a lot of stuff on tonight as well. I think the ARM TV show goes tonight as well, and probably John. So make sure you get over and check that out. I'll tell you what else. Just a thought. It was nice. I only caught a bit of it. I haven't seen the whole piece, but I saw something flash up on my feed saying that Gary Roberts had done the behind the scenes of the weekend. I haven't even checked it all out yet, but I'll tell you what, if you get over and look at Gary Roberts' video, I expect that will be ace, because Gary Roberts' sweet spot for me, the ARM TV sweet spot, is when he does those behind the scenes things leading into the match. So I will make a conscious effort to check that out. I dropped a little comment on there just saying, Gary, great to see you doing this again. I hope that Gary does more of that, because Gary's great at that, and it's real value to the arm wrestling community. What do we got? Dimitri Dustbin. All right, mate. And he's put, who do you want to replace Slayev versus Trubin out of Kadetcha or Hermes? I want Hermes, because I got plans for Kadetcha. And Hermes is heading that route anyway, so I think that's good. And also it's nice to see that, the hype train behind Gasparini at the moment. Let's see how he delivers on that. Exciting prospect, Hermes. He's rock strong. Really exciting arm wrestler. Magician in the making, or magic in the making, sorry. Neil, sorry if you've addressed this, but do you have any vague info if UK will be open by your event, even with the recent stuff? Yes, I expect it will. Double vaccination is the key to accessing things, mate. To be honest, that's the way it's going and will continue to go, in my opinion. So there's going to be some stuff that's restricted as a result of that. All the guys that I've spoken to know the status. They know that they have to be vaccinated. Hopefully that comes to pass and it doesn't derail too much stuff. A few concerns about Sasho because he's a young man and hadn't been able to get the vaccine in his country. That's a problem. Jim James, thank you, mate. Thanks for your warm wishes. I really appreciate it. Cloaks93, what did you think of the Krasi versus Vitali match? Again, I did a piece like a day before, just a really quick clip, and I tried to sort of allude to who I thought and what I thought there. Look, I love Krasi. Krasimir Kostadinov has done some of the most amazing things in the sport of arm wrestling that you could ever do. I mean, his win against Arsene Liliev in Brazil was a magnificent performance. He's great. He's not big enough, in my opinion, to close down somebody like Vitaly Larratt. Larrattin's a giant, you know. They've pulled before many times, but every time they've done so, they've been much closer in weight. Kras is relatively small, you know. Larrattin's a developing force who is a natural giant. He's massive. So you then stack on all the elements that he has, and you're looking at a special guy. And as I said earlier on, Vitaly Larrattin, in my opinion, could well be the man right now. If he isn't, I believe he will be soon. He's a problem. Larrattin's a problem, let me tell you now. Evan Burgoyne in the chat. Evan, how you doing, brother? Hope you're well. Let's have a look here. Osaka, just watched the war between you and Michael Todd. Had no idea how strong you were. Yeah, I used to pull, mate. I used to pull. Let's have a look. Chance couldn't even beat Ryan Bowen from Dimitri Dustbin. Oof, it's a bit harsh. You know what? I haven't checked in with Ryan yet, but I would imagine that he will have definitely continued to keep that same train rolling. That, I mean, he believes he can beat Chance now. I know he does. When we were on the fix, we talked about it, and he feels like he knows where the hole is in Chance's game, and he could still run through it. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen again at some point. You never do know. Randy R, Arm Wars. With the first competitive videos I watched about 8 years ago. The matches were on point, mate. Hope it comes back. Thanks, brother. Glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, there was some amazing pulls in the Arm Wars Super Series over the sort of years that we did that, particularly the Eurosport years. We got some incredible cards. Really, really good times. And it is coming back. It's back at the Arnold Classic. We're just looking to pull together all the final elements there. Devil Rapper or Devil Raper. Neil, I hope you can add Bojidar to Arm Wars. Much love to you back, mate. And in discussion, I would have to say on that. In discussion. Particularly interesting, as I say, particularly interesting because of the fact that the Worlds in Georgia may be cancelled. And if it is cancelled, that potentially frees up one of the guys that we may have struggled to get previously in Vlad the Destroyer. So I'm speaking to Ray about opportunities for some of the Latvians, and that could be on the card. So we'll see what happens there. Let's have a look what we got. John 11565. Neil just got here. So this may have been asked already. When is the next episode of The Fix coming? Yeah, it has, mate, but I can tell you we'll be back on with The Fix in a couple of weeks, I would imagine, at the latest. So maybe we won't go out on the Sunday. Maybe we'll go out on like the Monday or Tuesday, which is probably, what is that, like the 9th or the 10th, around there. I would imagine something will be on. I think Paul's got some commitments with football, and we'll be on just off the back of that. Manson Hansen, mate, thank you. Really glad you enjoy the channel. Daniel, thanks for checking in, mate. And let's have a look. Herman Stevens is in the chat. John may have early onset dementia. Did he even know where he was? Thanks for that, Herman. Yeah, tremendous. Yeah, this is good stuff. He will be the first arm wrestler on Joe Rogan. I would imagine the most famous, mate, whoever that is. Probably Devon would be the guy to get that nod, I would imagine, if anybody does. Bojidar hasn't ever competed above 80 kilos. Nope. Rob Virgin Jr., evening to you, mate, also. Yeah, it did, and 14 pounds of pressure. Yeah, that event at weekend looked amazing, mate. Looked like there was a solid atmosphere. The place was going crazy. There was real hype behind that match, and that's nice to see, you know. it's good to see people getting behind the sport. It's funny, we went out tonight for something to eat, just in the town here, and I'm not tonight. I'm not where I'm based. Went out for something to eat, and we just got a food, and the dude comes across to us and says, "Excuse me, mate, are you Neil?" And I said, "Yep." And he's like, "Oh, just wanted to say I love." He said, "I thought I recognised you. I just wanted to come over. Just wanted to tell you how much I love arm wrestling." And we talked about matches for a moment. And that was that. And he was just a guy there working in the restaurant. And that was really nice to see that people are getting genuinely interested in the sport. Lovely to see. So, and for that guy, I'd literally just come off the phone. I was writing an email, trying to book a place to stay. So if I was a little distracted, I do apologise. And thank you very much for coming over and saying hi. And hope you and your family are well. As I say, I was a little distracted at that time. I was actually emailing. But thank you for coming over. It's really nice to hear from you, buddy. Let's have a look. What else we got here? How do you think Brzenk will fare in the top 8? I think that was really positive for John the other day. And if he's got a little more time, I believe like he can do something in there. Obviously, he's competing against young men, and he's competing against some venomous mother fluffers. So John, for me, starts as an underdog. If John can get himself into better condition, sure, he's in it, you know. Will he do? Is he that committed right now? I don't know. I saw that there were some... That wasn't the best version of John that I've seen. Looked a little out of shape in terms of... I don't mean out of shape in terms of blowing hard. I mean out of shape in terms of his position at the table. Seemed to lack some of the control that he'd had in the past. But that will come when he's just back on the table pulling. It's like anything else. If you're not active, you lose it a little bit. I know that he will come back, and you know what? I'd love to see him go well. I would absolutely love to see John have an impressive outing in the top 8. He starts as an underdog, in my opinion. We will see. I'll be interested to see how he goes with David in his opening match. It's a tough match, no doubt about it. Let's see here. Yeah, Joe Fox has pretty much said exactly the same. Brian, thank you, mate. I don't believe everything you hear, Neil. Yeah, from 14 pounds of pressure. Where would you go from here if you had a chance in terms of training and pulling style? To be honest, Chance needs more strength through the elbow. And he needs to be able to pull people who are not going to try and contain him or hang on to him. Guys that are going to go knuckles up with a very powerful wrist and can match his pronator. That's one of the styles that gives him problems. I'm very, very sure that Chance will be aware of that. Everybody has got holes in the game, or most people have holes in the game. And I think Chance will try and shore that up. It's just getting out there, pulling those guys, learning, getting around, and not only pulling matches, it's getting out there with different styles of arm wrestler, regularly training with those different styles of arm wrestler, and getting yourself accustomed to pulling that kind of style. I think a guy that would do, as a training partner, a guy that would do a world of favours for Chance Shaw, is somebody who's a nightmare for him at the table. That guy for me right now will be someone like Marcio Barboza. I think Marcio stylistically creates problems for Chance, and I think as a training partner, it would be punishing, but it would do him a lot of good because I think he could adapt himself and try and find ways through that. Carolyn, Neil, Gary Roberts' video was so good. He's a filmmaker. Yes, he is. As I say, unfortunately, I can't comment too much because I haven't seen it through yet, but if it's anything like his old stuff, I know how good he is at that kind of thing. So yeah, looking forward to checking it out. Let's have a look what else we got here. Does Larratt have the potential to become the best of all time at any point? Look, he's got best of all time and best of right now are two different things. Best of all time is around longevity. It's almost, I've said it before, it's more difficult for a very, very big man, a natural giant, to be recognised as the best of all time, because they don't have the opportunity to sort of transcend the weight that they're already in. So that makes things a little difficult for them. John's legacy, John's ability to have done what he's done, is very difficult to emulate. It's very difficult to match. And I feel like it will be hard to surpass John Brzenk, and rightly so, as the best of all time. Come see me in 30 years. John Brzenk is, John Brzenk is a freak. He's a one-off. He's an arm wrestling machine. Neil Pickup's back tits in the chat. Dude, nice work. And he's put, Neil, did you watch Pork Chop? No, I didn't see Curtis Cameron and Ian Carnegie pull. I need to check that out. I didn't see much of John. Only saw a little bit of John's stuff. Checked it out momentarily, just popped in there. It came up on my feed and I just flicked on it. Didn't see Curtis, didn't see Ian. How'd that go? Something let me know in the chat how that went. I will check it out. There's no doubt about that, particularly before we go on the fix, so we can walk that through. Did you see Levan's pic on Instagram story? He's massive. Yeah, he's a big boy, isn't he? He's a weirdo. I haven't seen the shot, but I haven't seen whether it was enhanced in any way, but yeah, he's a big lad. Carolyn Loomis, Neil, how did you walk out on stage and develop your stage presence back in the day? Any advice for young men nowadays? Is their walkout presence, say like Chance, for example, quiet or animated? You know what? I think if it's in you, it's in you. I always felt like part of my job was to try to make a show. You know, it was always around, for me, there was two elements to it. If I felt confident, it just came out of me naturally. And I always wanted to try to entertain, to try to make it a little bit of a show. And that's what it was about, really. I had fun up there. I always liked to feed off the crowd. And so whenever I was pulling, that was the thing. I'd try and come out and just have a bit of fun with it, mate. That was how that went down, Carolyn. In terms of guys that are, I think if it's forced, if you're not someone who is loud, if you're not someone who is, in any way sort of outspoken, gregarious, whatever you want to say, it can come across forced if you go out there and try to push it. I think you just need to be yourself and what you're comfortable with. Chance is not the guy that, he's not shy. He's very articulate. He can articulate himself brilliantly in most areas, but I don't feel like he's the guy that goes out there and shouts about it. I don't think he's comfortable with that. He'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I've certainly not seen that from him. He's not he's not introverted. He's not quiet. He's not shy. He's not Travis Pageant either. He's not the Hail Raiser. He's not that guy. Chance is carving out his own little niche, and he's doing a great job. I mean, he's got his thing. He's got his shirts. He's got that side of things covered. So I don't worry about that too much. I think Chance is going to do fine. And there's a lot of. It's nice that the US have got another guy, an up and comer. I think they've got more than one. I think Corey West is another sleeping giant. Believe me. And let's see where Derek's at as well. You've got other guys there that are solid arm wrestlers, and more will come as the sport starts to develop. I think more will come. Arm wrestling's in a good place right now, and there's probably a myriad of guys out there that we don't talk about that aren't necessarily in the limelight, that people perhaps are a little less familiar with, who are rock solid. So yeah, I'm quite happy that Chance is true to himself. I'm quite happy. He's not trying to create something that he's not comfortable with. Chance sure will be fine. Doug Moody, just got here. Neil, did you hear that Alex K is pulling Hermes before the four-way arm wars? Yeah, I've heard those rumblings. I'm not too worried about it as long as the dude doesn't get hurt. We've got time. If he wins, become under control of PAL and thus not able to do arm wars. No, I haven't heard that, mate, and I'm not sure that is in fact the case. I don't believe that's the case. We'll see. Alex is a big boy. and I'll let him handle that, and I'll talk to him afterwards. But I've had nothing from Alex to suggest that that's the case. Nothing at all. Let's have a look. Hey Neil, bit of a thought. This is from Justin A. Or experiment. How would Chance Shaw right now do in the 95 kilo or 105 top 8? Well, the first thing, he probably wouldn't perform too well because he'd have no arms. You'd have to cut the hookers off to get him into the weight class. It's the first one. But if, let's say that hypothetically, we could slim him down and he retained the strength and capabilities that he's got right now, I feel he'd have mixed results. I feel Chance would beat some guys because if you're trying to control him, if you try to hold on to Chance, you'll probably have a shock. Chance does very well with guys that try and contain and hold him. Anybody who's trying to hook at Chance in that traditional wrist cranking style is going to have a problem with him. Guys who hook in a more supinating style, this kind of style, will do better. Guys who are very explosive will do better. Guys that try to ease into the match will probably feel like they've been to prison. So, you know, he's going to have mixed results, is my honest opinion there. I think there's guys that, like all arm wrestlers, he's going to have guys that cause him major problems. I said it before, Chance has guys that would cause him problems, in my opinion. Robbie Burnett's shown that. He was a problem for Chance. And I think there are others out there. Oh, super chat just come in from SG Records. Sub three-legged man, love from Georgia. Thanks, brother. Hope you're well. Hope you and your family are happy and healthy and everything's good over there. And the COVID situation is improving. Let's have a thing. Brian has just come in. Do you think Chance could beat Jerry? Mate, I actually covered that off a little while ago, brother. I'm sure I've got a delay on this frigging thing. It just jumped forward about 10 feet for no apparent reason. But yeah, I don't actually, Brian. I heard from this that John had said, John disagrees with me, but you know, what can I tell you? I disagree with John on that particular point. Hey Neil, it's Stephen Pena. Stephen Pena, mate, where have you been? You've been away longer than me. And this is my main YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I'm staying in tune for the fix. I'm in the presence of greatness. How's life? Not the best at the moment, mate, to be perfectly honest. There's a few challenges, quite significant things at the moment. So, yeah, ups and downs is the honest answer to that. But still walking forward, mate, walking forward. So, and the fix will be back soon. Hope you're well, Stephen, and thank you very much for supporting the channel as you always have, mate. Really appreciate it. Hey, Brian, don't worry about it, brother. Thanks for tuning in and checking it out anyway. Let's have a look at what we got here. And the beat goes on. Good to see you too, mate. You stay stoic. Let's have a look. WAF Worlds is about to be cancelled in Georgia. So I understand. Yeah, that is what I've been told. Now, I don't want to say too much, you know, because I haven't heard it officially confirmed. I heard the rumours. I've not had it officially confirmed, but I do believe that it potentially creates some opportunity as well. But I'll throw that comment into the ether, and then I'm going to leave it right there. And yeah, we'll leave it there because I don't know who's available yet. But I did mention, one of the comments that I mentioned earlier on was around the potential of snagging a couple of guys who would have been busy at Worlds. I mean, obviously, the Bulgarian crew, if they can get vaccinated, the European side of things being open now without quarantine in the UK is great. The biggest challenge there is, can they get hold of the vaccine? Oh, Adam Vandal's just come in. Mate, Adam, how you doing? Adam Vandal, ladies and gentlemen, Western Survivor, www.westernsurvivor.ca. Get yourself over there for the best beef jerky in the world. Adam, thanks for your super chat, brother. Really appreciate it. Let's have a look what we got. Yeah, Ryan Bowen's stuck in Oz. A lot of people are sending me messages about Ryan being stuck in Oz. It's weird because they're on the green list for the UK, but I think the biggest problem for them right now, for the Aussies, is purely and simply that they are having to quarantine on the return to the country when they come back. And also I've heard from speaking to Ryan that the flight prices are really significant, thousands and thousands of pounds. Mizelle's your door in the chat. Mizelle, how you doing, dude? Good to see you, mate. And hey, the Arm Wars are the Wizards' tits, mate. Those Arm Wars shirts. In fact, you know what? All the shirts, particularly those breathables, are the balls. Absolute quality garments. So yeah, I'm glad you got yourself one of those. I'm glad you agree. Carolyn, thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Arm wrestling will get you through, Neil. Yeah, it's tough times at the moment. That's tough times, but I'm certainly hoping that that's the case. 1 foot forward, another foot forward. We'll see how we go on. Let's have a look. Brzenk looks so calm. Ethero 369. Brzenk looks so calm against Chance. Yeah, I think he was in control to a point. I think he was in control to a point, but he got stretched out a little bit. And I don't think he was as comfortable in his positions as he has been. So, yeah. Let's just say I'm pretty sure that he was not going to lose that match, and he knew that he wasn't going to lose that match. Looking forward to getting hold of John. I'll give him a buzz when I do get back into the mix and have a word with him. Just get some opinions of things there, and also try and catch up with Chance. Jeremy James, looking on that, jumped up. Any notable matchups, mate? Not that I can talk about right now, but there are opportunities there for sure. Let's have a look. I'm going to be on here, guys, for probably another about maybe 10 minutes or so, and I'm going to jump off. But I just wanted to check in with you all and just say hi. I know I've been absent for a while, so thanks for so many people jumping on tonight and checking it out. Hope you've enjoyed this little live. Didn't plan it, so it's good that a few of you came on and checked it out anyway. So I'm going to be on for about 10 minutes. Any more questions or anything like that, guys, fire them in. Let's have a look. Hey, somebody let me know how Pork Chop and Carnegie went. How did that go? I fancied Carnegie for the win, just on experience, but I've heard so much good stuff about Curtis Cameron. I've heard Pork Chop's a beast. So I'm interested to hear how that went. Somebody in the chat let me know. Pork Chop dominated. Wow. Pork Chop flattened Carnegie. Amazing. I'm gonna need to check that out. So Pork Chop manhandled him. Wow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting over and seeing that. That is very interesting. Speaking to Devon, probably a couple of months ago, he was sort of singing the praises of Pork Chop, saying how strong he is. And yeah, very interesting. Strength Old School, how's RVJ doing? Funny enough, I was speaking briefly to Rob on the text last night. I haven't been in contact with Rob or anyone else, to be honest. I've been keeping, as I say, a few challenges at the moment, so I'm not being in contact with people. But Rob's fine, as far as I'm aware. I think he's good. Jordan Davis in the chat. Jordan, how you doing, brother? Hope you and your family are well also. And he's put Carnegie took a massive loss. Sounds that way, mate. Yeah, that's a shock. I thought that Carnegie's experience would have been able to potentially open up. I saw Pork Chop pull Rick Heidebrink, and he got busted out in that match. And I felt like Ian would probably stay away from the hook, where Pork Chop's obviously a friggin' monster. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Lloyd Christmas. Neil, I'm 37 now. I'm from one sexy son of a bitch to another. Some other dude in here, dude. I'll take it, son. I will take it. Tell me how you keep looking so young. Holy shit, dude, you need to put down the vodka. No, he's put, hope you and your family are well and weather the storm. Yeah, trying my best, mate. The one thing I can say is, if I look all right now, I'm happy with that, because there's been the odd night where I haven't slept too great recently. So yeah, if I don't look like shit right now, mate, I don't know when I will. For damn sure. There's no doubt about that. Doug Ruttie's just come on here and put lots of new COVID lockdowns, Neil. It's a fear reaction, but nothing to ignore. The slight resurgence in cases seems to be disregarding vaccination rates. I mean, I was legit praying for Michael Todd. Mate, Michael was really shook up by that. And rightly so. Listen, I've lost 7 friends now to COVID-19. So I'm not a medical person, I'm not a doctor, but that is no joke. That is no joke. You know, you're losing people like that. So I'm really glad that Mike's through that. And I bet that scared the living crap out of me, but it certainly would have scared me. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. What else have we got in here? The Army lads love the t-shirt, Daz Smith. Yeah, mate, that's great news. I'm really glad that the lads in the forces have got hold of some of that. It's good gear, isn't it? It's really good gear. That the merch stuff's mint. I got quite a few of the Supernatural Arm Wrestling shirts, breathables, before I came away. And let me tell you right now, good gear, really good. Particularly on the warm days, those breathables are brilliant. Particularly when you're a fat knacker like me as well. It really helps you when the temperature's been revved a bit. What else have we got in here? Jordan Davis. When the fat lad goes live, you watch him at the breakfast table, ladies and gentlemen, mate. Yeah, over in Oz. What time will it be over there now, mate? Probably about 7:30, something like that. Good that you're up and watching arm wrestling already. An arm warrior. Most arm wrestling community is anti-vax. Wow, really? That could make life difficult for travel, I would think, if that's the case. I think it sounds to me like most countries are bringing in vaccination passports. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Whether that gets relaxed or whether it continues. Brad Butler, how you doing, mate? Neil, it's good to see that mug. Arm wrestling isn't the same without you. Bless you, mate. I hope you're well. All the best to you. I've been better, brother, but I'm still hanging in there, and I will be hopefully back in the mix quite soon. Lloyd Christmas, good guess on the vodka. Yeah, I figured that was the case, mate. I thought you had the old twitchy pirate eye going on there, like you'd been on a 24-hour wanking marathon. Now then, what else have we got? Probably going to stay on here for about another 5 or 10 minutes, ladies and gents. So it's going to fire through and see if I have missed. I think I missed one element of the super chat early on, also about which match I would like to see most. Which match I would like to see most. That is hard. So many matches I want to see. But I'm a really big fan of Bojidar right now. Yeah, I'm a really big fan of it. But I'll tell you what, let's go with some of the heavyweight potential guys. You know, let's go with those. In fact, you know what made this more interesting? You guys tell me what weight class we're talking about. What weight class we're talking about, and I'll tell you which matches I want to see in those weight classes, or some good matches that I want to see in those weight classes, because there are just so friggin' many. There's so many. It's crazy. Going back to what I was saying a moment ago, one of the matches that I think I've mentioned it many, many times, and I was trying to set it up for Arm Wars, would probably be Tortiev and Bojidar. I love that match. I mean, I've seen those guys pull before. One of the times where I was really impressed with Bojidar, because it's fine to be versatile and be collected and be comfortable and confident when you're not at the red line. But when you get put onto the absolute red line, that's when you see the fibre of the fabric, you know. And Tortiev, because he's so long, so awkward, very difficult arm wrestler to deal with, I was really, really impressed with Bojidar. I thought to lose his wrist, lose height in the manner he did, and still maintain his composure, impress the living daylights out of me. I think he's a fabulous arm wrestler, and yeah, that's a match I love. I love Tortiev Bozhidar, so that's a match I really like a lot. On the heavyweight side of things, God, there's a lot of really good ones there as well. I know I talk about this as well, but I would really like to see Gennady Quickvini, Jerry Carteret. I still think that's got the makings of an absolute cracking match. I would love to see that pull. I also want to see Levan Saganashvili and Vitaly Lalatin again, because I think that could be another exciting one right now. Definitely potential for that to go the other way. But I know Levan is a very dedicated man. Doesn't want to lose, and he's working very, very hard. Daniel Urich's back. Daniel, how you doing, dude? He's been away, come back on. Let's have a look. Yeah, Foxball, I still want to see Levan and MTT. Absolutely. I think it's going to be a while before Mike's back bouncing at that level, though, to be honest, after what he's just gone through with the old with the COVID. It sounds like he had a pretty rough ride, and I don't know whether he's suffering any. I haven't had a chance to check in with him. Don't know whether he's suffering any serious after effects off the back of that, which could well be the case. I'll have to check it out and see, but without a doubt, I'm sure at the top 8 final we'll see Lalatin and Levan. Although we got the mighty Dave Chafee going over there very soon. That ain't far off, is it? I think that's coming up soon. So be a lot of eyeballs on that one for sure. It's hard to believe anyone can beat Vitaly. He's not easy to beat, mate. That is for sure. The man is iron. Legond, yeah, mate. Thank you very much. Not fully back yet for sure, but I'll continue to check in the best I can as often as I can. Mike Wheatley, hey Neil, Marcio looked very strong versus Mike and his crew, but still very unknown where he sits. What do you think about a match between him and someone like Hermes? I think Hermes right now is a difficult ask for most people, particularly when he's bigger. I think Marcio would start as an underdog in that match, although he does present a very interesting series of challenges. The favourite for me in that match right now will be Hermes. I think Hermes is very, very strong at this point in time. I think he's going to take some stopping. Justin A, hey Neil, what do you think about Sandris Sedris beating Rimkus? I think that match could go either way. I'm going to check in when I get an opportunity to speak to Ray. I'll check that out with Ray and see how he sees it, because he's closer to the source, the nucleus, if you will. But for me, I think it could go either way. I'm not surprised. Both lads are pulling at a level where it doesn't surprise me that could happen, to be perfectly honest. Let's have a look here. Brad Butler, if Kadetcha beats Hermes, big if, do you have a plan B for the battleground? Yes, I do. I do have a plan B for sure. But as I say, unless somebody tells me otherwise, I've just heard people talking. I haven't heard anything that really suggests that there is a problem with Alex Framos. Honestly, that's not what I've heard. Alex has not suggested that that's the case to me at all. So I'll wait till I'm contacted by him and I get more info on that. But yeah, maybe the case. I've been out of the picture for a week or so. Yeah. Jack Velazquez is coming with the Tortiev versus Bozhidar. Absolutely, mate. I'm right on that page. Same page. I need to go and check out the Carnegie and Curtis Cameron match. I'm going to check that out at some point very, very soon. Guys, I'm going to jump off here in just a moment, but let's have a see. I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I'm going to jump off. But I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight and checking out the show. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I know we've been on here for just over an hour now. And I just really wanted to come on and say hi to everybody, make sure I was showing my face, checking stuff out and giving a little bit of insight. We'll be back with a fix, as I say, shortly. next week or so, and we will be back with it in the presence and some other stuff off the back of that real quick as well. But again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I know we had like 150 odd people at one point on here, and that's great. It's really, really nice to see people coming on, checking out the show. Sorry, didn't have a chance to promote it beforehand. I let people know earlier. It was pretty much off the cuff, opportunistic kind of thing tonight. As I say, hopefully we'll be back to some kind of more regular shows very, very shortly, guys. But in the interim, one more time, thank you. Lloyd Christmas just come in. Have a good night, Neil. And Daniel, I'm going to crack you. Good stuff. Nice to see the chat building up. Brian, thank you, mate. And again, everybody who's taken the time to tune in and check us out tonight, thanks for doing so. I hope everybody's well. I hope you and your families are safe and well. And stay strong, stay stoic, guys.